So this time from the Masters of the Universe Classics line, we're taking a look at Bubble Power She-Ra. Yes, Bubble Power She-Ra. Now I kind of passed on the original She-Ra release on this line because I didn't really like her. I wasn't that much of a She-Ra fan. More into the Masters and Eternia side of things. But now that I'm such a fan of this line, I knew that I had to have a She-Ra at some point, and when they announced that they were going to sort of re-sculpt the figure and give her a little bit more added articulation, and especially for what's coming up, you'll probably see pretty soon after this a video on Swiftwind, and I knew that this was the opportunity to get her. I knew there was some customability if I could find the Masters of the Universe Classics versus the DC Universe Classics 2-pack of She-Ra versus Supergirl. And why it is Wonder Woman, I don't know, but it's Supergirl. So anyway, that had the classic look for the Filmation character. So I knew that I would have to get both in order to make my so-called perfect She-Ra. So I broke down and got this. And it's okay. Like I said, I am going to use the weapons and head of the other She-Ra once I find her. I think most people are going to do that. So anyway, before we take a look at the figure, let's take a look at the back of the package here. And you can see the bio for her. Gives some information as to exactly what the bubble power thing is. Sort of like this energy thing that she makes new armor for when she comes over from Etheria. Let's get into her accessories, and first we'll bring out the lamest of her accessories, which is the bubble power spreader, whatever it is. And I mean, it's cool that they include this because the original toy Bubble Power She-Ra was actually a gimmick. Yeah, I mean, this was basically a bubble pipe that you put this bubble solution into and blow through, and you'll be able to blow bubbles. And it's nice that they kind of kept the gimmick without really making it a gimmick, but I can really do without, and that'll probably end up in the junk box. She comes with a sword. Of course, she's got to have a power sword, and she comes with a sword. The handle was a little bit bent. I don't know if that's just mine, but yeah, I really don't like this sword. It's too triangular for me. I do like the sort of jewel inset design here. Unfortunately, there's no place to put the sword on her. Maybe they could have come up with a sheath, a loop somewhere on her armor. That would have been cool. She comes with a shield, also with the sort of crystal power thingy, fake jewel. Done really nicely, and it's got like a two-tone paint job of gold and copper, I'd say. And it's got this nice double clip here, so it is only meant for one arm, and that would be her left arm. Of course, the original She-Ra action figures / dolls had real rooted hair, so they came with a comb, and I like that they've kept the idea with the comb, and they've turned it into an axe here, so does double duty. I just find it so hilarious that she could be, I'm combing my hair, but then I'm gonna cut your hand off, and or disembowel you, and then go back to combing her hair. And last but not least is her headpiece, which comes off, just clips right onto her face there. And unlike the first version, when you take it off, there's not like a huge hole in her forehead. And you can turn it around to have the sort of masked version of her, which I think really looks stupid. Doesn't really quite work as well as on the first figure, but you can still get it to look like that. I think she looks fine just like this. Very nicely painted, very nice face. I like that sculpt. She's got the purplish eyeliner, I guess you would say, that is goes better with the purple on her outfit. I think that's a little bit different than the regular figures, which have, I think, more of a, I say a bluish. I haven't really noticed, to be honest with you, this being sort of my first She-Ra figure. But again, nicely painted. Details on the bracelets, her bracers. Very nice gold, and again, the copperish tone here on the boots. You can take the head off, take off the cape, which is this time is gold instead of red. I will probably replace that with the red cape once I get the other She-Ra. And you can undo her little purple armor. I don't know if you could even call it armor, off, and replace her head to get more of a classic She-Ra look. Of course, the main difference in this figure is the slit in the side of the skirt here, which will allow her to spread her legs and mount her steed. And I'm talking about the horse, all you people. You can see her on top of Swiftwind. Aside from not really having the sort of correct sword and shield, she's a great figure. Even with the sword, even with this sword, she does still look pretty cool. I just noticed there is some extra, like, glue on here from where her, I guess, the plastic, the top of her skirt is, and it's only noticeable in when the light hits it at a certain point, and that's the only really flaw that I can see on the figure. Her articulation is great, pretty much the standard for the line. The head is limited by her hair. I mean, she's got this huge mass of hair, sculpted very nice. It's got all these curls and curves in it, very nicely washed to give it that depth of texture. And but you can go side to side and slightly up and down with it. Her arms do go all the way around, but the hair does get in the way. She goes out at the shoulders and in, rotates at the bicep, bends at the elbow, and rotates at the wrist. Now, she doesn't have any ab articulation here, but that's not bad. She does have waist articulation, though. You can get her going, twisting away. And like I showed you, she does have leg articulation forward, back, pretty far out to the side. Very nice with that slit there. It rotates at the top of the thigh, bends at the knee, and she's got a little bit of rotation here at the boots, not too much. And her feet go forward and back, and there is some slight ankle pivot there. But yeah, once I get that other She-Ra from the 2-pack and kit bash them together, I'm really eager to see what it'll look like. And especially with Swiftwind, I'll have a pretty cool She-Ra Princess of Power figure to start out the rest of my collection. And I'm gonna have to be looking for her alter ego Adora as well. You know, might as well go all in. And you know, even though I passed on him earlier this year, I might be looking at Bo as well. I don't think I'm going to get so much into the villains, but at this point, who knows? I said that, I said to myself, I probably would never get a She-Ra, but here I am, I've gotten a She-Ra. And so, that being said, I'll say stay tuned for some more Masters of the Universe classics. I know in December we're getting the vehicle, the Wind Raider, which looked absolutely fantastic at New York Comic Con, and then in January we're getting the Sorceress, which will, I mean, that's got to be a must-have for any Masters of the Universe fan. And so until then, stay tuned and whatever. End the video.